Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 3, entitled as Talks Between Lord Shiva and Sati. And today we're going to finish out the chapter. Today we're going to read out from text number 24 and 25. So 24 I will read by myself, and 25th we will read together. Text number 24. Tatte nirikshyo na pita pideha kred daksho mamadvitata anuvartaschaye yo vishvasarka yagna gatam varuro mam anagasam durvacha sakaroto tiraha. Translation: Therefore you should not see your father, although he is the giver of your body, because he and his followers are envious of me. Because of his envy, O most worshipful one, he has insulted me with cruel words, although I am innocent. Purport: For a woman, both the husband and the father are equally worshipable. The husband is the protector of a woman during her youthful life, whereas the father is her protector during her childhood. Thus both are worshipable. But especially the father, because he is the giver of the body. Lord Shiva reminded Sati, your father is undoubtedly worshipable, even more than I am. But take care, for although he is the giver of your body, he may also be the taker of your body. Because when you see your father, because of your association with me, he may insult you. An insult from a relative is worse than death, especially when one is well situated. So text number 25, do we have any option? No?
I have it here.
You can have on your laptop?
Yeah, several people can see it from my laptop.
Okay, so yeah, we can just read together. Yadi vrajishyas atihaya madvacho bhadram bhavatyana tato bhivashyati sambhivitasya svajana prabhavo yada sa sadhyo marnaya kalpate yadi vrijasyasya atihaya madvacho bhadram bhavatyana tato bhavishyati sambhavitasya svajana prabhavo yada sa sadhyo marnaya kalpate. Yeah. Yadi vrijayasya atihaya madvacho bhadram bhavatyana tato bhavishyati sambhavitasya svajana prabhavo sadasa sadhyo marnaya kalpate. Anybody else? No? Okay, word to word meaning. Yadi, if, vrajayasi, you will go, atihaya, neglecting, matvachaha, my words, bhadram, good, bhavataya, your, na, not, tatha, then, bhavishyati, will become, sambhavitasya, most respectable, Swajanat, by your own relative. Parabhavaha, are insulted. Insulted, sorry, I'm really sorry, are insulted. Yada, when. Saha, that insult. Sadhyaha, immediately. Marnaya, to death. Kalpate, is equal. Translation: if in spite of this instruction you decide to go, neglecting my words, the future will not be good for you. You are most respectable, and when you are insulted by your relative, this insult will immediately be equal to death. Thus, and the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 3rd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled as Talks between Lord Shiva and Sati. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपिशा गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमस्तते तप्त कांचना गौरंगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चाति देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपाय कृष्ण कृष्ण श्रीमते कदम कानन संति नामने Hare Krishna. So today we are completing this beautiful chapter, talks between Lord Shiva and Sati. As we know, the Srimad Bhagavatam is so beautiful. Any pastime is being recorded, or you can say as a case study of many different personalities, the pastime between them, the dialogues between them. It is all only meant for the conditioned soul to enlighten their material life and come to the platform of spiritual life. Because it looks like an ordinary things happening here, like the daily household affairs. You know, husband says something else to the wife doesn't want to follow. If she wants to follow, she wants only half of the things to follow and half she wants to do. So if you think this, everything's look like here like a mundane affairs going on, but it is not. It is all completely transcendental and gives so much instructions to both the jiva. I mean, the jiva is only one, but when it's come in the form of male and female, it gives a very important manual for both of them to follow while reading out this whole pastime. Because this chapter, as we know, Mother Sati, she's so powerful. She's like Durga Devi, you know, she's the in charge of the whole material affair. But she's playing a role of a woman also. Okay? It says, like, there are two jackets. There is a jacket or a coat of a man, and there is a coat of a woman, like a form as a coat. So whoever wants to wear this coat, there are so and so features, and there are so and so qualities will come when a jiva will take up this cloth or this jacket. And if the jiva wants to take the jacket being as a man, then there are so many qualities or, you know, impediments, shortcomings, everything is there. So it is natural for being into a woman body. Mother Sati wants to be socialized. Prabhupada many times say in his teachings here, being natural for a woman to be socialized in the market, because they are really more inclined into shopping, going to meet the family members, you know, buying jewelry, clothes, having so many children and clothes, and so. It goes there. Even though Sati knows that my father and my husband, they are not getting along with each other. They have really a good, tension between both of them. But because she has a relationship with both, so she can't hold herself not to say anything. In the beginning of the chapter, we know as the other demigods, when they were going to her father's sacrifice ceremony, and they were talking about, and when she see them, the ladies are wearing a very good dresses, a beautiful sari, beautiful ornaments, get makeup on, they're looking so beautiful, and they are all talking to each other, what we gonna do? And she thought, oh my God, my father is having, and he's not inviting us. So what's the problem? I am his daughter, so I should not be invited. I should go and attend it. And she gives many beautiful examples, like she keeps her case front of her husband, Lord Shiva. Your father-in-law, she's not saying like my father is doing, my dear Lord, your father-in-law is doing sacrifice. So if you wish so can we go together? I mean, she was very expert to put the case on. And she put many more things. But after hearing her, desire, thank you. Yeah. No, I misspeak something valuable. It's so heavy. I don't know how Lord is wearing. Hare Krishna. So, when she put, and the Lord Shiva, he remembers all those insults, especially the harsh word by his own father-in-law. Okay? He is so self-realized person, he doesn't care. He doesn't care of the honor and dishonor. He is above of all the material impediments. Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu. He's completely absorbed, because just yesterday verse, which is 23, he beautifully says, Shabdam visuddham vasudeva shabditam hridayate yatra puman apavartaha satvem cha tasmin bhagavan vasudeva he dokshajebe namise vidiyate. I am fully absorbed in the meditation of Lord Vasudeva, because in that meditation I can fully know him. I can fully know him. So the person who is completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, he is above the duality of honor and dishonor, name and fame, pride, ignorance, anything. If you see the part of this material world, he is above all these things, and that is the beautiful quality of our Lord Shiva. But on other side, the lesson comes what the Daksha was doing. Mother Kunti, she narrates, or she tells one shloka, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhi Edaman Madhapuma Neva Hatya Abadhutyavi Tavam Akinchana Gochara. Means the four things, if a person is having, it's very difficult for him to approach the Supreme Personality of God, because after having these four things, he becomes mad, madhapuman. He becomes mad of that pride. And what is that? Taking the birth in an aristocratic family. Janma Aishwarya, opulence, name and fame, knowledge, all these things. And Daksha was having this. He says, oh, I am the son. I'm the son of Brahmaji. Okay, and I am Da Prajapati. If you see in that chapter 2, it's been glorified. He looks like a son as soon as he enters into the arena. Everybody stood up to give him honor. Can you believe it? There are hundreds and thousands of people are there in the arena, and as soon as you enter, and everybody stood up, and they honor you. Just in honor, they stands up and they gives you all the respect. Oh my God, Prabhu has come. Then how do you feel? You feel such a prominent and a proud chest. Yes, I am something. I am something in this world. That's what Daksha was feeling. He forgave. He said, oh, Brahmaji is my father. He's not meant to, stand up for me. That's okay. But how come this naked man, this Shiva, he's supposed to be, he is my son-in-law. Oh my God, such a heavy thing. But he forget, okay, materially he is son-in-law, but spiritually he's so advanced that he doesn't need to do so. He doesn't, because he doesn't even notice that Daksha has come in the arena, because he was completely absorbed in the meditation of the Lord. So many lessons comes out of that. If the person is super envy, out of false ego, thinking himself is a prominent of this material world, especially when we practice our devotional life, when we have given a kind of a position, some power, or we gain some many years of some bhakti, we gain some name and fame, calling ourselves as a senior person, this and that, it creates a madha in our mind. It makes us mad, because those positions, it doesn't allow us to surrender to the devotee or surrender to the process. We always hankering for some name and fame and honor. Why I was not even been called to do first Srila Prabhupada Arti? Why I was not been called to give garland to Prabhupada, or not been called to give big Bhagavatam class, or to do kirtan, and many other, even though we don't say from our mouth to people, but internally, certainly, we are meditating on this. The people around me, Prabhu, how long have you been here? 2 years. Junior to me. How many you? 10 years. Still you are junior. Oh, who is your spiritual master? Oh, your spiritual master is junior to me. So there's so many problems are there. And out of that, we commit so many, offenses like that. So many offenses. So that's what the Daksha did here. Even though he was given the head of all the Prajapatis, but still he should understand what his position in front of other Vaishnavas, those who are spiritually elevated to him. A real self-realized Vaishnava, the person who has been very, very matured in his or her bhakti, is always ready to give respect to other and never ask for himself or herself. Which shloka in Shikshashkratam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? Tranadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Shahishna Amanena Manadena Kirtanyo Sadahari. But that position doesn't come very easily in our life. Really doesn't come very easily, because it makes us pride, and when the pride comes, illusion comes, it makes us mad. And when a mad person sees the world, a mad person sees the world in a different view. In front of him, the whole world is inferior. That was the Daksha did. In front of me, everybody is inferior. And due to that, he did commit it. And when Nandishvara, the dear eternal servant of Lord Shiva, when he got angry, he said, very soon you're gonna get the head of a goat. So when a person get, mad of his prestige and things, he definitely get the, head of a goat. Because the goat is so dumb and fool, doesn't discriminate, what is good and what is not good for me. He just keep doing it. And in the future chapters, we will see what will happen. He will definitely get. Because here, when in today's verse, text number 24, it says, therefore you should not see your father. So wherever there is therefore comes, so that means there are set of shlokas, the verses, the conversation is already going on. Previous to that, there is set of conversation going on. Lord Shiva is making a certain point for his dear wife. And after speaking 10, 12 shlokas, he says, therefore, you should not do it. And he gave many reasons. He says, your father will not honor you. Why? Because your relation to me. He's envious of me. Because he is envious of me, so he will also not give you respect. Even though you are his pet daughter. Sati was the youngest among other sisters, the other children of Daksha. Like those who are parents, they know very well, if you have the youngest child, and the youngest child become the most favorite and the pet. Parents, they chastise the elder children, make sure the younger one being looked after very nicely. So become the pet, and she was the pet. He says, still though you are a pet, he will not do so, because his heart has become hard like a stone. And in the future we will see, when Sati goes,
everybody talks to her, all the sisters, mothers, everybody, except the guest and except the father, because the guest was afraid of Daksha. If the Daksha get, angry, he will curse us. So better we should not go and see the sati. But being as a womanly nature, women, they're so emotional, they're so sentimental. They could not wholly say, I don't care for my husband Daksha, I'll go because she's my daughter also. And she embraced, tears, exchanges, and so many things were happened, but she did not care. Sati did not care. She was looking for one thing, why my father has not come to honor me. And after that, she says so many things, and finally she gives up her body. But the point is here that the main duty of a woman, there's one lesson is here, being as a wife, the Shastra says only there is one duty in the whole Vedic scripture. And what is that? To follow the instructions of a husband. That's the only duty she has been said to do. And who tells this? Bhishma Dev, the Nastika Brahmachari, right in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when he's about to die and he was just lying on the arrow of bed, he was saying, what is the dharma of a stari, what is the dharma of a raja, what is the dharma of many other things. And one of the dharma, he says, the dharma, the duty of the woman is to obey the order of the husband. That is the Vedic style there. But of course, there are many more, interchanges are there. If the husband is, not a Vaishnava, if he is a meat eater and so, there's another case that wife should not follow it. But if the husband is there, so she must exactly follow and obey the order of the husband. And that's what the husband is saying. Lord Shiva is saying, my dear wife should not go. And then later on he says, if you do not follow my order, then there will be a wrong with you. The catastrophe is waiting for you. There will be a big danger for you. Please kindly follow it. So what should we do? So what is the lesson for us? We have seen, like I see in my life, in my home, I have my mom, my sisters, and if my father says something else to my mom, and if she doesn't follow, and later on she regret for that. Even though Lord Shiva here, he's a Trikaldarshi, as like Lord Krishna, because they can see through the Vedic scriptures, and by reading that they can exactly tell and guide others, if you are going to do this is not good for you in the future. You're going to get yourself in the trouble. Trikaldarshi means they can see the three kalas, past, present and future. They can tell you what's going to happen. By seeing your today's current scenario or your living style, they can tell what you are going to achieve in the future. Even though he stopped her, but still she will not follow. And that's happened in married life. Sometimes the instructions been followed, sometimes the instructions been not followed. But if the woman, if she independently act, then she brings the calamity on herself and the family, and there will be no good, and the relationship will be broken in the future. And that's what's happening here. Because in a Vedic systems, when the girl is married, like Srila Prabhupada here says, when she is young, she's been taken care and looked after by the father. When she's in youth, she's been taken care and looked after by the husband. And when she's old, she's been taken care and looked after by the sons. So she's always need a protection. But if he herself breaks the protection and goes out of the boundary, so who's going to protect her? Who's going to protect her? No one. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. That's what happened in the Western world here. Because people, they just want to be independent and want to be free, don't want to follow anyone's instruction. So what they do, when they are open in the market, so their people are there to grab her, to enjoy her. And that's how she spoils herself. And then, many men approaches the lady and she just, stay with one man, two men, three men, and many men. And then later on, there is no good experience with the man and she wants to live alone and the whole world is there. And she finds so many problems, physically, mentally, emotionally, and so many things. you know. But if you read the information from the Srimad Bhagavatam, such as what we are reading now, if we keep ourselves under the protection, we are well looked after. A person says, oh, this woman got a protector, got a maintainer, so I should not approach her, because if I do so, then the husband, you know, or the father or the son or the brother will come and they will, you know, beat me up. They don't say. But if she herself make free in the society and walk in the, you know, road like a free girl, then what do you think what will happen to her? And when the children will come out, what sort of children will be there? It's called Varna Shankara. And they will not do good to the society. It is complete bad for everything. So she plays a very important role also. Being as a woman, they play a very important role also. Because if they are being chased, they are being, you know, following the authority, so what will happen? They will be always remain happy throughout her whole life. So this is the lesson we all have to learn. We have to read, we have to share and train our children also, and the other society also. Do not go free, because free mixing is not very nice for both, for the man and for a woman. Because when the man is there and he got so many options, I've got so many women there, option to choose. So what happens? He comes in the grab of the beauty of a woman, and then he forgets his spiritual duty. And same as with the woman also. When she's there, there's so many men are there in front of me and they want to enjoy my body, so I can choose any, I can demand anything. When the men are there, they say, okay, no problem. You got a big houses, cars, luxuries, jewelries, purses, dresses, so many I will give you. And she goes from one after another, one after that. And she also loses her valuable birth being as a human. So they both are in the problem. They are both completely in the problem. And the envy here, envy is the root cause, because knowing yourself, identifying yourself with a position, identifying yourself as a man, as a woman is also a problem. Because envy, who says, I think Chanakya Pandit says, Prabhupada quotes, Prabhu, if you can just tell me if I am correct or not. When you put, because Prabhupada says, a snake is being treated by mantras, yeah? But an envious person, you cannot treat. Is it? I think something like that. Yeah, I think that is the essence. It's very, very, very difficult to train that person. We'll see, because now he's going to get the, you know, goat head very soon, and after 5-6 manvantara, he carries on his mentality to be envious, especially with the Vaishnava. He carries on. And where is the pastime? Prachina Bhari says. Oh, sorry, Prachetas, where he curses Narada Muni again. He carries on the same, because he's the same Daksha, takes the birth after 5-6 manvantara, which is so many years, you know, but still his mentality is carrying on. If you are not in a Krishna consciousness, if you are not chanting, if you are not surrender voluntarily to the process, this envy will not go out of your life. It will be carrying on, because it becomes a part of your subtle nature. Because your subtle body carries all the nature to the next body, and it always remains there. And when this envy is remain, so the heart becomes, and when this envy is there in the heart, and the heart is very hard, so a person can go to any extent to harm the other person, even become physically violent also. We have seen it. We have seen, like, you know, among us, when a person is super jealous of somebody out of either, you know, a position, maybe out of jealousy of being popular speaker, being a popular kirtaniya, being a famous person in the society, and other people, those who can't digest all those things, they start defaming the person, throwing the wrong information out in the, like a rumors out in the society. Do you know this person is so and so? No, he's not popular. Check out his background, so and so. Why do you have any problem with that person is popular? It is by the blessings of the Lord. You know, he's serving the Lord. He's getting the name fame. It's under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Why you are having problem? Prabhupada always says we should not get together somewhere and talk about other Vaishnava, even though that person is in a fault. There's a statement of Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. I said, before speaking about somebody, you make sure you filter your words. you filter your statements. Is it good for you? Is it good for him? Or is it good for others? If it's not, then why we are talking? Instead of talking about someone's criticism or someone's about bad words, we can talk about the Lord, where it will help us to improve our consciousness. There's a journal scenario. But in a management, we need to do the differentiation, because if there is a problem, we need to solve the problem. Because if we let the problem go, then the problem takes a big shape and it's going to be hard to solve it. But in a journal practice, we should avoid all these things. And help others also not to do it. It's not so easy, because this habit is deep rooted. We haven't learned this birth. We are doing this for billions of lifetime. We see somebody is superior to us in any of the quality, we start immediately criticize that person. And that's what the Daksha did here to Lord Shiva. How come he's sitting on a superior position? He went that far that he started criticizing his father also, Brahmaji. I was not ready to give my daughter to him. This Brahma. Brahma told me to give. Otherwise, I was not ready. First of all, he criticized his son-in-law, which is highly spiritually advanced, and he criticized his own father, which he's also, very advanced in spiritual practice. Hard-hearted person can go to any extent. Envious person can go to any extent to bite anybody. There is no hope to it. It is only just by the blessings of the Lord or the Vaishnava it can be cured. A person may stop himself under some authorized pressure. He may say, okay, I will not speak, I will not criticize anybody. But inside that pressure cooker, when you cook dal, the smoke is there. Smoke is there. Like, I tell you what, when I was in India in 2022, I just took one trip to Vrindavan Dham. So our senior was telling, whole congregation, like we were 60, 70 people in a bus. So the special thing he was mentioning, now we are in the Dham, we're going to see many, many more things. So make sure we should not criticize the Dhamvasi. We should not criticize the Dham, and we should not criticize each others also, okay? And one fellow, he says, okay, no problem. He says, then otherwise you're going to have 1,000 times sinful activity, like the whatever we hear. And the person says, oh my God, if I criticize, so we have 1,000 times reaction. So I will not do so. So we went 2-3 days, we passed, and when we were just coming out, and suddenly that Prabhu says, now we are out of Vraja. Now we are entering into Delhi. He says, now Prabhuji, are we out of Dham? He says, yes. And he starts blaspheming the other person. He says, Prabhuji, why did you this to me? You just stole my kurta, you put my phone, I put on charging, you took it off, put your phone on a charging, how can you do that? And it's because he was holding for 2-3 days. He was holding, and he was just on and on and on and on. And everybody was laughing and enjoying, and but after he was being corrected, because due to his nature, he was meant to blast. Anything goes wrong, instead of, responding the subject matter, he just do the reaction, just react immediately. But he hold himself for 3 days. And inside, if you're just holding something to say somebody, and the person is coming day and night front of you, you want to say something, but you can't say because you are in the Dham. As soon as you are out of the Dham, you just blast, just opens up everything, all the volcano, lava is coming out. Why did you this? Your wife also did, your children also did. You just put everything in the line. I say, oh my God, it's not easy. Many people, if you see in a Kartika, during Kartik, they take a vow not to criticize anybody. And it's such a difficult vow, it only lasts a couple of hours. Or maybe somebody can do till evening. Okay, one of the speakers, he was telling, it is very difficult to follow this vow. You do what is in your hand, which you can follow the vow. He said this person made a vow very strong that today is the Kartik day, first day, and I will make a promise for next 30 days, I will not criticize anybody. And he was in Vrindavan Dham. Okay, and he was taking the darshan in the evening, when people offer the ghee lamp to the Lord, and it was fully crowded. fully crowded, and he was just taking darshan. He says, ki, oh, today I haven't criticized anybody, either in my mind or in my mouth, anything. I'm a bit proud. And he started paying obeisances. And his crowd, somebody stepped on his hand. And when somebody stepped on his hand, he screamed. And he started getting, you did it. And he blooded, and he realized, what happened to my vow? I just broke by this evening. It's so difficult. It's only be possible when we are associating with the advanced Vaishnava and serving them. Because when we are surrounded with the devotees who don't have this habit, they also don't let us do so. This blaspheming. Blaspheming only not can be done by mouth, like when somebody speaks. It can be done in a subtle or silent form also. Either somebody is doing in mind, which is not considered as an offense in Kali Yuga, anything if you do in your mind, but until you make it into gross, that is an offense. But sometime it's been said, anything if you do silently also without saying it, but in your action, that is also considered as an offense. It is also considered an offense because it just accumulates 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 30 days, and in a month and a 2 months, you just want to take it out because you can't handle it, you can't digest. Those unfair things happen to you. It's called tolerate. We just need to tolerate. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj, his famous statement is there. Somebody asked him, Maharaj, how can I increase or how can I have the quality of being a very tolerant person? Maharaj says you have to increase your sadhana. If your sadhana is weak, your tolerance level will be weak. If your sadhana is high or good, then your tolerance level will be very good. Who was saying that? I think a couple of days back, I think Prabhu, it was you said that Prabhupada wrote one statement in our Krishna book that your advancement will be checked when there is a provoking situation is there in front of you, and how you respond to the situation. It's very difficult, because we are seeing so many unfair things are happening around us, in the train, bus, on the street, either here in our life, temple life, or outside life. There's so many things are there, and we are ready to blaspheme. We are ready to criticize. Prabhu said, no, there will be many more will come. Many more. As soon as a person start getting on the spiritual life, his path not always be, decorated with a rose petal. There will be some thorns. So you need to tolerate. Lord himself says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Tamaste tikshva bharata. Tamaste, you need to tolerate. Matas parshas tu konteya sitoshna sukha dukadaha agama paino anityas tamaste tikshva bharata. This duality of this material world is like a season, winter and summer, honor and dishonor, happiness and distress. It will come today, you are happy, tomorrow you will be distressed. So being neutral to both, not just only be neutral to only one thing, which is distress, we have to be neutral to happiness also. Because many people, when they become happy, they do some kind of a weird thing because in their happiness. And later on they find out, oh my God, I put myself into trouble now. Because they're so happy, they don't even realize what they are doing it. It says like, somebody I just read somewhere, it says, when you are very happy, don't promise anybody for anything. And when you are in distress, like when you are in a trouble, don't make permanent decisions, because things are fluctuate. Things do fluctuate because that is a part of this material world. Duality is there, ups and downs are there. But for that thing, we should keep going on our spiritual journey. But those who are not strong in their spiritual maturity, spiritual practice, they start blaming the Lord. See, Prabhuji, I'm practicing for 2 years, 3 years, chanting, reading, gave so many donations. Why these things happen? Krishna ji only did it. I said, really? Really? Did he message you? Or did he inform you? Or you got any notification on your phone? I'm going to do this to you. I said, what happened? He says, I did this happened. I said, but did he ask you? Did anybody tell you to do this? He says, no, then why did you, I thought so. Then if you thought so, then you have to bear the consequence. So it was your decision. If it was your decision, then how can you blame the Lord? You cannot blame the Lord. Any distress and happiness coming in our life, that is the fruit of our previous action. So we need to be just calm down, let the karma burn or tolerate and keep moving in your spiritual journey. Because spiritual journey, spiritual activity, spiritual occupation has nothing to do with the material occupation. Nothing to do. Because that is the nature of this material world. It's temporarily. The day you are having a good day today, it won't be there tomorrow or day after tomorrow or for a week. Someday we know, someday we are super duper happy, just flying, jumping, from up to down. And then sometimes we are so moral, we just don't want to pick up anyone's phone, just want to hide underneath the bed, underneath our blanket, don't want to see anybody. So that is the nature. That is the nature of our mind, just asking us to get a pleasure in certain places. And when we don't get it, we become frustrated. And when we see others are getting it, we become envious and we blaspheme them. Prabhupada uses the word in Sanskrit, graha medhi. Medhi. Medhi means envious. Householder life is full of envious. We know this. When we have seen in India, when a family goes to other family's house, even though they are relatives, or a friends, when we go, or a wife sees or a husband sees, do you know, last time when we came, they didn't have a plasma television that big, but now they got it. How about us? We should also have to buy this. Last time their children were studying in a government school, but now they're in a convent school. How about our children? Let them get into convent school. How about they were having just only one small compact car, now they have Mercedes or BMW, we should also get one. So there's always a competition, there's always enviness, seeing each other. And that's why Lord Shiva is saying, he says for a saintly person, for a respected person, the harsh words are worse than the death, especially the words of the relatives. The words of the relatives, if they use the harsh words to you, is worse than the death for a saintly people. Because saintly people, the example is there in the Mahabharata. You know that? You can kill a saintly person by harsh words or your harsh speech. You know that? Where is the pastime in our Vedic scripture? Okay, give you a hint, Mahabharata. Arjuna. When Arjuna took a vow that if anybody said anything to my Gandiva, I will kill that person immediately. Okay? When Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he got hurt in the battle, when he came back, okay, in the camp, then Arjuna heard, oh, my elder brother, got hurt by Karna. Okay? Let me go and see how's he doing. And he comes. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj says, oh, Arjuna, are you here to tell me a good news that you have killed Karna? He says, no, brother, I have here to see you, how you doing. I heard you got, shot by arrows. He says, go to hell with your Gandiva vow that you cannot able to kill so far. You see yourself a big archer, a bow, archer man. You are call yourself a big Arjuna, so and so. And then Arjuna says, that's it. I'm going to kill my brother because I took a vow. I took a vow. And Krishna comes. He says, what you guys doing? You are brothers. You can't do this to each other. Because you are fighting, Arjuna, you are fighting to put your brother on a throne because he's a religious person and you're going to kill him. He says, but what to do? I took a vow. Okay, Shastra says if you use the harsh words against any saintly person or respected, that's as equal to killing them. So just use. And then Arjuna blasphemes. You you are a coward, you put your wife, on a dice and she will lose it just because of you, this happened. Because when the gambling, offer came, why did you accept? Just because of you, we all are in a problem, brothers, we lost our property. He says so many things. And when he finished, he bowed down to his brother and said, my brother, please kindly forgive me. because there's a role of words. So that's what it's saying. It's here it says, you are most respectable, and when you are insulted by your relative, this insult will immediately be equal to death. She will die because she will say, because she has a relationship with his father on a bodily platform, because he gave her a birth. And she will tell, my father, are you proud of this body? Let's see what I do. I'm going to give this body right now, and I'm going to make myself free from you, because I don't want to be known as a daughter of yours. And she will do that. So it's a very, very beautiful pastime, and there are many more instructions gonna come in the future. So please stay tuned with every Srimad Bhagavatam class, because there's a full of nectar is there. So I'll stop here, and I see if anybody has any reflection, questions, corrections, or any experience to share. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead. I think we have somewhere. Yeah.
You're talking about relays and this, and I did, that came to me in one experience.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went home for the holidays, and my mother and my aunt and my cousin were asking me if I was going to get married.
Okay.
And actually, they all used to be married, but they were single. My aunt and my mother were widowed, and my cousin was divorced. So
Yeah.
I said, you were all married, and now you're single. Which do you like better? And they all said they liked being single better. So then I said, well, why do you want me to get married? If you're enjoying now,
Yeah.
if you're single, you should want me to enjoy.
Yeah.
But no, they want me to get married, which was less enjoyable for them.
Yeah.
Because they had this material conception in their mind that marriage was good, even though their experience was different.
Yeah.
They wanted me to get involved with it.
Yeah.
But if somebody, so they were actually wishing for my ill welfare.
Yeah.
And that statement came to,
Yeah.
I realized, well, they actually are.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Usually, when I go and preach in the congregation, I always uses this term. I always says in a Vedic time, they train, like nowadays in a modern time, if a boy wants to get married, he doesn't know what is the duty of being as a husband or what is the duty of being as a father. When a girl's going to get married, she doesn't know what is the duty, being as a wife, or what is the duty is going to being as a mother. And when they both are going to get married, they don't know what is the duty of being as a spouse. Okay, they enter for the sense enjoyment. But in the Vedic style, if you see, the boy has been sent to Gurukul, okay, to learn all the aspects of the life, especially the sense control. And because whatever he will learn spiritual, subject matter, he's going to come and share with his wife and children. And the daughters, they get trained under their mothers. They know how to take care of the household duties. They know how to please the husband. They know, how to obey the order of the husband. They learn everything. So everybody has their roles to play. But nowadays, nobody knows what their roles to play. That's the greatest problem is coming out. That's why these Vedic literatures are there. Okay, nowhere in the scripture it says you should not get married. It's recommend. It is one of the spiritual occupation, like one of the ashrama, grahastha. That's why I just use the word grahamedi. Grahamedi is the ashrama where they only enter it for their sense enjoyment. And grahastha is the ashram where there is a license, but for what purpose? For spiritual advancement. You are taking the ashraya of that particular ashrama, that where you can develop yourself and where you can teach your wife, your children and other family members and support other ashramas also. So everything has a duty to fulfill. But people, they don't even know, and these things not been taught anywhere in the school and colleges. That's why people are suffering, they don't know. Okay, I saw my parents are kissing in front of me when I was a child, so I have to do the same thing. So I get married. But what to do? In your marriage life, it is because as soon as you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back, we are staying together. But the time you stop, I also stop. You go your way, I go my way. And that's why there's so many problems out there. That's why.
That reminds me of another thing. I was engaged to a woman one time, and she said to me, I don't like the idea that I have to alter my behavior to satisfy your mind.
Oh my God.
Which is, of course, the whole definition of chastity, you know?
Yeah.
But boy, what am I getting involved in?
Yeah, yeah. Some people are very fortunate; they get the very good partner by the blessings of the Lord. But some people are even more good fortunate; they don't get anything. In case of one of your, I know, but I won't take the name. One of your god sister, okay, she's not married, and because she's much senior to me, like she's 55, 50, and when I was in another temple, so I just spoke to her, and and she told me that Prabhuji, I don't want to get married, and please you also don't get married. I said, why so, Mataji? She says, because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to serve the person who's not gonna respect me throughout my whole life and gonna give me children, so I'll be just busy to change their diapers and nappy and take care. I have my important life, because she was a very good yogi in her previous life. We can see that the way she interacts with people, the way she understands the way the scripture, the way she preach, we can easily understand she is not really meant to do all these things. If you can't hold, you can, but it is not necessary. And she says, I'm just going to go back in this lifetime. And I was thinking, wow, what a beautiful Vaishnavi. She's setting an example. If she can hold on to this type of determination, then what's wrong with me? I should, and I really respect her a lot. She says, look at that, She said, that's what we want from the scriptures. But if you can't, hold on, then definitely. But in that ashram also, then you need to be ready to tolerate, because you are going to deal with a different mindset of person, and who is in a different body, like a man. Man has an ego to show superiority against the opposite sex. Prabhupada says, a woman has to be very, very intelligent, even though the husband is fool number one. But she has to say, oh, my husband, you are the most intelligent person of the whole world. Just to keep the relationship smooth and going, so she can do her spiritual activity and get out of this world. But if she argue and fight and so many other things happen, then she's in a trouble, and then a spiritual life is in a trouble, then there's no point, arguing. Because men's psyche nature, women's psyche nature, they are completely different. Their needs are different. Their way of responding, the subject matters are completely different. They're completely different. So we need to understand that Prabhupada says only can be understood, or you can solve the problem when you see yourself on a spiritual platform. Vidya vinay sampanne brahmani ga vihastini suni chaiva sopakecha pandita samadarshina. When you start saying, okay, I'm in the body of a man, I'm in the body of a woman, I got stuck, I need to get out of this material world, and this partner is going to help me out, let me do something, let me get out. Just sort out your material activities, some here and there, and go for the higher purpose. Go for the higher purpose. Actually, one of my Guru Maharaj, good friend, he is Srila Prabhupada disciple in Melbourne. His name is Jnana Samudra Prabhu. When my spiritual master passed away, so there was a pastime, what you call memory celebration, when they tells the pastime, of that personality. So the host, he asked Prabhu, he says, can you tell us what was the relationship of Kadam Kanan Maharaj with his previous wife when he was a householder? And he said, whatever happened, he never criticized his wife in front of anybody. He never ever criticized, or she never ever criticized him in front of anybody. Whatever was issue, they just solved it just behind the door. Didn't let other world knows. I mean, that was he said. But now we say people come and they counsel it with, so, and sometimes it becomes heavy that they need to, be separate from that. But he says, no, whatever, because they are focused on serving the Lord. And other things can be sorted out. Anything else? Yeah. Yeah.
And what ended up happening is the teacher came out and Sati disagreed with Shiva, and Shiva explained a lot of beautiful principles
Yeah.
to follow.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how to voice disagreements with seniors in a way where you get mercy instead of upsetting them.
Yeah, because when your desire to enjoy takes over, then you know disregard the authority's instruction. When you want to show your independence, you want to be independent. Like if you see, if I take the example of this temple, Prabhu is there, Hamsarupa Prabhu is the president, and he gives some instruction, and if somebody doesn't want to follow a certain level, he has this limit to tolerate. Maybe, few months, few years, but he see the person is not, following the order, and he's going to put himself in the danger, and by seeing him or her, the other people also start following, doing it. To set an example, the person has to leave the temple, because this is meant for austerity. This is meant for obeying the order. We need a Vaishnava or a person, a Vaishnava is a very good Vaishnava when he does the needful, where there is a need, not where what I want to do. Yeah, certain level it is there, you can do what you want to do, but there is also a need because we need to run the temple. So Arjuna, he put himself, I don't want to do, and he gave many arguments because he was going to enjoy his senses. I think, this is not moral, this is not nice, because he was only thinking about himself. I may go to the forest, chant Hare Krishna there, I will not fight this and that. Everything was only self-centered around him. But when he heard the whole Bhagavad Gita, God understood, then instead of becoming a self-centered, he became Krishna-centered. He said, okay, Krishna, I will do what you want me to do. It makes sense or not? Even though he's a Vaishnava here, Lord Shiva, he said everything, he put forward everything, gave all the aspects from all the angle why you should not to go. But still, she being into a Prabhupada saying, because she was in a woman body, like this Shiva was in a woman body, and this form has a nature to act in a certain way. Okay, she understood, and it's saying she was just walking back and forth like a pendulum. You know that? With and the Bhagavatam says she was showing her red eyes to the husband. It seems she's going to burn him down. She went that far. Okay, and the husband is only seeing for her welfare. But what she did, I want to go to my father, I want to see my mother, I want to see my sister, and how this man is stopping me. And she was just, having a burning charcoal into her eyes, just backing like a pendulum, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It will come. And after that, she said, that's it, I'm going. I said, being as a poor husband, what can we do? Sometimes husband do, okay, if you want to go, go. But later on, when she got humiliated by other people, then she comes, okay, yeah, my husband, you were right. Of course I was right, you didn't listen to me. And that's where the argument happened. And now she's going to leave because, and plus other more instances are also there, because she not just went for her own self, she went, Acharyas gives her another light on this, she went to have the supremacy of Lord Shiva among others. Lord Shiva doesn't need to come to the sacrifice because he is above all these things. Then she established this, whatever the argument Daksha gave by using, you like a monkey, you wear ash, you are uncultured, you don't follow the Vedic scripture. And she gave so many beautiful points. He doesn't need to follow all these things. You people are conditioned, he is not. And she gives very with a beautiful pastime. I love this pastime here, for our dealings with other Vaishnavas. How do we, when we see any senior doing something, and we start putting himself, oh, he's been practicing for 50 years, he should not do this. Baba, it's not for him, it's for you, he's advanced. Prabhupada, there is a beautiful thing, it says ki, when the demigods are more qualified, spiritually matured in every terms and condition, they can fly. They don't need to walk around the forest and the ocean to walk. But the people who are living on the earthly planet, they need to follow the rules. But the person who is spiritually advanced, he doesn't need to follow. Sometimes he do, sometimes he doesn't. But you people are conditioned, you have to follow. That's why she established the supremacy of Lord Shiva. He doesn't need to come. You people are greedy for the share. He doesn't, because he's already chanting the holy name. he's having much more better taste than you. Yeah, so it's an individual, and it's an individual free will. He put everything on the table, and he asked, my dear wife Sati, please pick up whatever you want. So she picked up to leave him, and she has to bear the consequences. Okay, anything else? If it's not, thank you. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.